Residents living in the Cape Fear region are typically exposed to beautiful sunshine and fair weather, but sometimes natural hazards can occur, which can upset the residents in the area. Some natural hazards that exist are tornadoes, severe storms, earthquakes, which we typically do not have, drought, which we also typically do not have, and what are we most affected by? Hurricanes and the flooding that comes with them. Even though we experience these, not everyone is always prepared. A survey was conducted, and participants were individuals living in the Cape Fear region. They needed to be 18 and over, currently living in the Cape Fear region, and the questions were regarding natural hazards such as perception of risk, history and experience, preparedness, and information such as years in the region, level of education, and other informational questions. Based on these, the question is, were there any significant relationships between the data found? Not really. Though some showed statistical significance, it was not enough to show a strong relationship between any of the variables. One thing that stood out was the amount of individuals that live in the Cape Fear region that have lived here for less than 5 years. As you can see, it is significantly greater. The problem is, the amount of individuals living in the Cape Fear region for 5 years or less is significantly greater than those living in the area for longer. This is resulting in residents who do not have experience and may not have knowledge to prepare themselves for the natural hazards that affect the region. While the analysis of the data did not reveal any relationships that we could propose a policy for, this information did allow us to realize that there is a policy recommendation that would be appropriate. The recommendation based on the data is mandatory testing for natural hazards. What is it, you ask? It would be a testing requirement for all individuals renewing or obtaining a new North Carolina driver's license in the Cape Fear region. This test would ask questions regarding appropriate responses to various natural hazards that could affect the area. Individuals would then be given a natural hazards cheat sheet pamphlet to take home with them for continued knowledge. This would also include online practice tests similar to the sign test that you must take in order to obtain your North Carolina driver's license or renew it. Associated costs with this policy would be creation and upkeep of the online portal, creation and printing of the pamphlet, and possible extra labor hours from the DMV workers due to the distribution of the test and possible questions associated with it. When looking at a potential policy, it is important to look at the potential downfalls. One would be potential complaints due to longer wait times or lines at the DMV. But in this case, the benefit outweighs the costs due to the lack of significance found in the data with the relationships with different variables. It is my recommendation that this would allow for an overall safer Cape Fear region resident preparedness in regards to natural hazards.